Good morning, and this is Early Mornings LALATE. The President of the United States does it. The $1,400 third stimulus checks land in bank accounts today. That $1,400 third stimulus check will be landing in your direct deposit today. If you're Direct Express by Comerica, if you're big banks, if you're small banks. I'll be going over all the big details and more, and why you shouldn't expect the stimulus check to be there in the beginning of the day, rather later in the day. I have all the details. Meantime, a big shocker overnight, as Wall Street still reacts to those job news, but now has something else to react to. The big surprise is that massive win by Chuck Schumer for forced stimulus. Reconciliation offers have now flown in because of a win with the Senate parliamentarian. The president now has set up the path to get multiple stimulus checks out the door. I'll explain the detail in this big early mornings broadcast. Suddenly, monthly checks have a path to get it finished. And that path came on the heels of a major ruling by Chuck Schumer and the parliamentarian. In this video, you'll see new videos of the White House visiting the vaccination site, the president with a new order for the American people, new statements about jobs across the board, as we get new confirmation of where Democrats could come to a meeting of the minds, and it's all really great news. While millions of Americans wonder how fast we can get these stimulus checks out, I'll have all the big details as Early Mornings LA kicks it to high gear. It's a big early mornings broadcast. The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here, and this is Early Mornings LA. Good morning, everybody. How are you? The toast is toast and the butter is butter, and I'm here, you're here, and guess what else is here? Yes, that stimulus check. I'll be going over more about those monthly stimulus checks from forced stimulus later in this recording. But boy, what a big day we have across the board, as finally we're at the finish line. Those stimulus checks you've been wondering about are finally happening. And away we go as Early Mornings LA gets underway right now. How are you? The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here, and congratulations. Those $1,400 third stimulus checks are here. Millions of Americans over the last few days have gotten those alerts, and you are among them. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I don't want you to miss a single video across the day. I want you to share this video, and I want you to tag your elected Democratic senators with the video. It's a big week because forced stimulus is heating up. We're not taking a breath or a breather or a casino vacation. We're cashing that third stimulus check, and we're going right into forced stimulus check. I'll have the details for you coming up in a second. Also, like this video. Let's try to do 3,000 likes. It helps in the algorithm rankings. Get this video to rank number 1. And consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. The link's at the top of the chat and also in the pinned comment. Wow, here we are. $1,400 third stimulus checks are landing by direct deposit today. And they are landing throughout the day. If you're one of those viewers who got up at 12:01 a.m. to see if it's there, don't worry, because it posts throughout the day. This is the first thing you need to know in this recording. The stimulus checks will post throughout the day in your bank or deposit account. Bank accounts usually show the pending funds available for withdrawal on today, April 7th. You don't have to worry because the funds will be available to withdraw. When will they be available, and when will that activity show? It could show anytime during banking hours today from 9 to 5. Guess what? Most banks usually show it in the early 12 hours of the day, between now and noontime. So if you're watching this recording, doesn't show it pending, don't worry. You got a lot of hours. You got a full day upon you. But most banks do generally not show them until about 10 to 12. Go to your bank, set up alerts for direct deposits. Also, so you get alert when something happens. Also, you can call your bank. They may show it before you see it. If you're Direct Express by Comerica, it's you. You're getting it today. If you're SSI, SSDI, Social Security, or Railroad Benefits, it's you. If you're veterans, you're getting it today. You're not going to have to wait. We had that great news as well. We learned that over the weekend. Also, if you are a big bank customer, Bank America, Chase is going to post today as well. Really, really exciting, great news. This is the $1,400 stimulus check for individuals, $2,800 for a married couple, up to a family of four. If you have a child, $1,400. If you have adult dependent, $1,400. There is no check coming directly to you if you have a representative payee. They have your check. And if you're dependent on someone else's tax return, they have your check. Meantime, paper checks will be coming to viewers. If you don't get a check today by direct deposit, it's coming this week by paper check. What are the dates? Where should you see them? And how should you see them? I'll have all those details coming up in a second. But boy, what a surprise across the board. As suddenly this number heated up. Let's look at the graphic again. Yes, this is the multiple stimulus checks. What happened? And how did this sort of come out of nowhere? What happened was the major win by Chuck Schumer about for stimulus. That big surprise, while checks are landing today, not Chuck's landing, checks landing, is the big surprise about not the Republican offer, but that there is a massive push now for reoccurring stimulus checks. Those monthly checks are absolutely shocking. What's going on? The Democrats who are in the Senate want those monthly stimulus checks. 21 of 50 Democrats want those monthly stimulus checks and have told the president that when the bill gets there, they're going to put those monthly stimulus checks in there. How do they do it? They do something called the vote-a-rama. As soon as the bill lands in the Senate, they're going to make the modifications to provide monthly stimulus checks. This is for stimulus. Will this happen as a reality? Absolutely. What do you need to know about the likelihood of these $1,400 stimulus checks? It's dependent upon about three factors. Factor number one, that the president gets this bill to the Senate fast. Factor number two, that the president gets it there with Democrats, not by bipartisanship, because bipartisanship will not get you a stimulus check. And finally, that it gets it there in the months ahead of time, not in the month of August. What's really big? What's really big is that jobs numbers that came out on Friday. That jobs numbers signal that this economy is booming faster than anyone thought. There's 8 million jobs missing. How many we generate a month? 1 million. Well, that's 8 months. We're good, aren't we? Not if you're worried about the new analyst reports. They think that there's 2 million jobs being generated in the month of April. If that's the case, we could be back to normal in 4 months. In 4 months, those monthly stimulus checks may not seem as delicious if the economy has those jobs restored. Meantime, overnight, California announced its reopening for the month of June. If this is true, suddenly you don't want this stimulus package to land in the Senate in June. The jobs may be restored across the country. Texas and other states have already reopened, and those jobs, whether it's travel, leisure, hospitality, or transportation, may be gone. So you want this bill in the Senate as soon as possible. What are the numbers? Let's go over the numbers. Stimulus check for every individual, $75,000 or less. Adult dependents, minor dependents, everyone gets a stimulus check. Between when and when, we do know a few things. First, we know the income qualifications I just went over. Second, we know who would get a stimulus check. Third, we know when. They want it to the end of this year. The last thing we don't know is how much. Word on the street would be either be $1,400 or $2,000. This is per person. Family of four, $8,000. Family of three, $6,000, based upon a $2,000 number. This is huge. But if it wasn't huge enough, came that incredible, jaw-dropping great news on Monday night. A reconciliation won by Chuck Schumer. What happened? The third stimulus package was passed with a recon left over from last year, which was saved for the Biden administration by the Democrats. It was a 2020 reconciliation that was used for the third stimulus package that just gave you the stimulus check today. Well, guess what? The Senate parliamentarian gave Chuck Schumer a massive winning ruling yesterday that said he can use an amendment to that 2020 recon to do his fourth stimulus. Now, wow, that's huge. He gets a freebie, an extra, an e-ticket to do a fourth stimulus package that no one saw coming. And after that, he has a fifth stimulus because he can do a recon with his 2021 recon ticket he's not yet used for the spring. He has another recon in the fall. And away we go to those massive numbers that's available as stimulus checks. The to-do list is headed with those MSC. The Democrats want those MSCs. They wrote the letter last week. They wrote the letter the week before. And there's Democrats in the House that want as well. Meantime, some Democrats want FPUC retro. The push is underway to get it done. Ron Wyden is among them. SSI reform, yes. Doesn't need to be done by bill, can be done by executive order, like the CPIE. Hazard pay, still on tap, still on the point. The president promised it. Could it happen? And finally, minimum wage. Expect that push to be kicking as well. Meantime, the President of the United States visited a vaccination site yesterday and spoke to Americans about how they are doing during this pandemic. Let's listen to the video for the President of the United States yesterday in that vaccination site.
And that's what we're working with our partners to provide.
And look, don't underestimate. The more people who know when you go home in your neighborhood and you got vaccinated, someone who's afraid of it or worried about it,
That's right.
they go, you got it? It was okay? I mean, you think it's safe? Do you? Oh, yeah. Okay, well, and encourage them. Encourage them.
Yeah.
Because this is how we're going to beat this.
Yeah.
This is how we're going to beat this. We're now at what? 75% of people 65 and over have at least one shot. And the other thing I say to all of you, all of these new variants you hear about, you know, and they give them names. There's the one from England, South Africa, Brazil. Some of them are more contagious. Some of them do more damage than others. But the vaccines take care of all of them. All of them. So the more you hear about it, don't get frightened. The vaccine you hear about, the one from England, well, it is more communicable. But if you've been vaccinated, it doesn't matter.
Meantime, also yesterday, the President of the United States addressed the question at issue about the modification of the fourth stimulus package. The fourth stimulus package, its big ticket item that becomes a big question across the board is the corporate rate. The corporate rate is currently now at 21%, reduced by the Trump administration, previously in the 30% rate under the Obama administration. Well, the Biden administration in the fourth stimulus package proposes 28%. Joe Manchin had this to say about it. He said he doesn't support 28%. He thinks it's too high. He also doesn't support Trump's 21%. He thinks it's too low. He thinks the world average is about 25%. Well, that's not particularly clear and not particularly accurate, according to Janet Yellen, who said this comment, which would be there would be a race to the bottom. Some countries are at 10%. The messaging is actually quite positive for Manchin, because if you got this bill modified to just 3% difference to 25 instead of 28%, away we go. We got a deal. There we are. What's the worry? We're done. Really incredible big news. But the other big news happening this morning is that $14 third stimulus check's landing. And guess what? I have some fixes or hacks for you as well. Viewers have said these hacks have really worked. And if you've not heard them, I'm going to deliver them to you right now. 3 hacks for that irs.gov tool. Track my stimulus check. If you haven't been able to track your check with that tool, here's trick number 1 from Margie. It works for 80% of the viewers of this channel. Type in your address in all caps. Wow, it really works. Number 2. Hack number 2 from AJ on Mornings LALATE. The viewer says, go to your most recent statement from Treasury, Social Security, or anyone like that, and look at the way they type your address. Type it verbatim, and type your name verbatim the way they have it listed as well. And finally, my hack. Go to your most recent tax return if you filed a tax return and see the way that address was typed there as well, and your name, and type it in exactly that way. These slight differentiations, abbreviations, middle initials, street, Ave, those type of things make the big difference about learning when that stimulus check's landing. But they're landing. They're landing. Those stimulus checks are landing, and away we are heading to those monthly stimulus checks across the board. There's a lot of things that are in third stimulus, and we're going to focus on getting the other items in third stimulus. But what's important to understand is that there's a lot of items under fourth stimulus that still need to be done. MSC, FPUC, retro, SSI reform, hazard pay, and minimum wage. Last night, Chuck Schumer and his team issued a series of statements reacting to the incredible news about that big win for the Democrats for purposes of that big fourth stimulus. Ron Wyden, Bernie Sanders, and Chuck Schumer are among those that reacted to the news. What did they say? This is what they said upon the news. Chuck Schumer's spokesperson said, it's an important step forward that this pathway is now available for Democrats as needed. And then Bernie Sanders said that it's an important decision because it gives us a way and a little bit more flexibility. In other words, right now, you know what this reconciliation package is about, to dealing with long-term structural problems. Everybody knows our physical infrastructure is collapsing. We know we can create millions of jobs, transform our energy system away from fossil fuel, but we also have to deal with human infrastructure. Human infrastructure, of course, is stimulus checks. It's, of course, you, the individual, your type of relief. Another Democratic aide told Politico that this is a good step and we have to work on the details. And away the details went, with incredible praises overnight as well from Ron Wyden Monday night, saying, I'm pleased by the parliamentarians' decision. Of course Ron Wyden's pleased, because why? Ron Wyden is among those 20 Democrats who wrote the letter to the president urging for those monthly stimulus checks. This is what Ron Wyden said. As this bill, he said that I'm pleased by the parliamentarians' ruling that the budget resolutions can be revised, allowing us to consider more additional bills through the reconciliation process. The American people want bold action to address our country's challenges, and the Democrats now have more options to overcome Republican proposals. Really incredible, great news. And then there were other statements released as well. A spokesperson for Chuck Schumer said, while no decision has been made about what legislation we're going to do, the parliamentarians' opinion is an important step forward as this key pathway is available to Democrats as needed. And then Chuck Schumer told CNN in a statement that this confirms that the parliamentarians' resolution can be modified. It confirms the leader's interpretation of the act and allows Democrats to use the tools to improve Americans' lives. And with that, I'll have more what's happening for those reoccurring stimulus checks and more videos from the White House and additional details about your stimulus check landing today. Stay with me as Early Mornings LA continues. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
From LALATE News Headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Early Mornings LA. How are you? Having a great morning? I might be in the live chat. You never know. Say hi. See if you get a reaction. I'm so excited you're joining me on Early Mornings LA. Having a great day? Yes, you are. That stimulus check is coming. I'm really excited for you. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. Give it as many likes as you can. It's our birthday month. We're trying to get to 400,000 subscribers. We're pretty close. We're only like 7,000 away. Let's do it. Also, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino, VIP. There's a lot of money under third stimulus for you to get. And you need to know about all the big other items for fourth stimulus about to hit. So excited for you to join me. These are the things that you need to know about today. That $14 stimulus check could post to your bank account anytime throughout the day. That's number one. Number two, the mail checks are coming. The March 26th check is late. Viewers are still getting it every single day. Every single day, more March 26th checks will show up. And then those April 2nd to 5th checks, every single day, another one of those show up. So don't worry. Also, what's important to know is that this is the April 7th week. the wave 4, and that more checks are going out in the mail on wave 4. That's April 9th. If you're a veteran, you don't have to wait. It doesn't look like you have to wait for anything. Those stimulus checks are landing today because veterans had that alert that they sent me of pending deposits from Comerica by Direct Express. There's a lot of other items in third stimulus which you need to start getting, and they're starting to hit right now. Rent is available in your city, county, and state. Reach out to your city, county, and state to get that rent assistance. You don't have to necessarily bump behind on rent, but every city and county and state has different standards. They can differ from jurisdiction to jurisdiction. Food, get money from food for the Department of Agriculture. If you make less than $45,000 a year, a family of 4 in Hawaii could get up to $16,000 a year. Homeowners can get assistance with mortgage assistance, property owner assistance, and also utilities. And then there's that SBA money about to go live, the EIDL, the Shutter Venue Grant, the Restaurant Grant. All that money is about to go live at sba.gov. Then the refunds, the $10,200 of unemployment, if you pay taxes on it, it's going to be refunded to you in the month of May. Also, the child care, the child credit of $3,600 or $3,000 starting the month of July. If you need to update that or anything like that, all those details are coming. Also coming as all the other questions of whether there's push for hazard pay in the fourth stimulus. When you look at fourth stimulus, there's a big to-do list of things to get in there. And I'm going to go over that list right now. MSC is the most likely. FPUC is also possible. SSI reform can be done by executive order. Hazard pay is possible, and certainly minimum wage being raised. Yesterday, the American people watched as a press briefing from the press secretary addressed how the president's dealing with modifications of what will become the fourth stimulus package. Let's listen to her comments during that recording.
Okay. No bunny today, I promise. Chicks, maybe, candy. A couple of updates for all of you at the top. We provided a bit of an update on what the Jobs Cabinet has been up to since the President announced the American Jobs Plan last week, so just wanted to provide you a little bit more of an update. As we noted yesterday, they've been hard at work throughout the congressional recess, making calls to Democratic chairs and Republican ranking members of the relevant committees and to appropriators. They've led briefings for major House and Senate caucuses. Secretary Buttigieg will meet with the moderate New Democrats caucus this week. The Office of Public Engagement will lead calls throughout this week with private sector, rural and agricultural stakeholders, climate groups, local chambers of commerce, faith leaders, minority leaders, community college groups, and more. And
this message here is very important for purpose of the Purple Power. What Purple Power needs to do is take this video and tag elected officials and get the message very loud and clear. Multiple stimulus checks. Get this bill to the Senate as soon as possible. Don't wait. Do it by reconciliation. You hear in this communication that the different secretaries under the Biden cabinet are already speaking with committee members to get insight about what they want in this stimulus package. Get your message loud and clear by sharing this video on social media, Twitter and Facebook, and indicating what you think should be in there. Let's listen in more.
Office of Legislative Affairs is coordinating about 30 briefings for majority and minority committee staff of committees with jurisdiction over the American Jobs Plan. These efforts will continue, of course, when members return to Washington, and as I noted yesterday, the President looks forward to welcoming members to the White House, and as we have that locked in, we'll provide more details to all of you. Today, Vice President Harris joined the COVID response team's weekly governors meeting to discuss our country's pandemic response, the progress we've made, and the work to come in our fight against the virus. The Vice President highlighted the country's work in the pandemic response to date, including today's announcement that the President will announce officially later this afternoon that we've reached 150 million shots in arms since entering government, and that by April 19th, all adult Americans will be eligible to get the vaccine. That doesn't mean they will get it that day. It means they can join the line that day if they have not already done that beforehand. She also noted the important work to come, in particular around ensuring access to the vaccine in every community and building confidence in the vaccine in every community. She highlighted best practices to ensure equity remains at the cornerstone of our vaccination effort. She also touched on the $3 billion in funding, largely from the American Rescue Plan, that will enable states and cities to support community-based organizations in launching new programs to increase vaccine access, acceptance, and uptake. And there was some more news today about how that will be distributed and used.
Meantime, the press secretary also asked about the questions about Joe Manchin's counteroffers. And certainly those counteroffers are very logical, because if Manchin wants to propose a 25% tax bracket for corporations, it's only 3% off of what the president wants to do. It's a way to get this bill to the finish line and get it done quickly and concisely, rather than doing this, which was doing it by bipartisanship. Over the weekend, Roy Blunt, a Republican out of Missouri, wanted to really butcher the bill, reduce it to a fraction of its size as his counteroffer. Not only does this not help the bill itself, it doesn't help you. Why? Because Republicans don't want to give you a stimulus check, let alone multiple stimulus checks. The only push for those multiple stimulus checks is not even from the White House, but from the Democrats in the Senate, who say they will modify the bill when it lands there by reconciliation. That's the incredible great news. Yesterday, the President of the United States addressed the American people about the progress in battling this issue and where we land going forward. Let's listen to that video from the President.
In Virginia, at the Virginia Theological Seminary in Alexandria, Virginia. The seminary and other houses of worship in the area are partnering with the community health centers to offer vaccination and vaccination sites. They're seeing these kinds of partnerships, and not just there, but we're seeing them all over the country. People are coming together across different faiths to serve those most in need, with special focus on vaccinating seniors from all races, backgrounds, and walks of life. It's an example of America at its finest. And they're all meeting what Pope Francis calls the moral obligation. Get vaccinated, something which can, he went on to say, can save your life and the lives of others. And I was at the seminary clinic to mark an important milestone as well. Yesterday, we crossed 150 million shots in 75 days, the first 75 days of my administration, on our way to hitting our goal of 200 million shots by the 100th day in office. That, of course, is the new goal I set after passing the original mark of 100 million shots in my first 100 days, doing that in just 58 days. At the time, some said 100 million shots was too ambitious, and then they said it wasn't ambitious enough. Well, we got to keep moving. If we could raise it up higher, I'd do that as well. But we know what we have to do. We have to ramp up a whole-of-government approach that rallies the whole country and puts us on a war footing to truly beat this virus. And that's what we've been doing, getting enough vaccine supply, mobilizing more vaccinators, creating more places to get vaccinated, and we're now administering an average of 3 million shots per day.
And away we go. The big exciting news, of course, this morning is that $1,400 third stimulus check finally landing. Congratulations. You know, if we look back on the months that have passed, we often had a lot of people who thought it was never going to happen. People thought the $1,400 third stimulus check was never going to land, thought they weren't included, thought that they were going to be left behind. People on SSI and SSDI back in April of last year when this channel launched thought that they would never get stimulus, that they were not to be included. This time you learned that if you're an adult dependent, you're getting a stimulus check. If you're on SSI and SSDI, you're getting a stimulus check. If you don't make any money, you're getting a stimulus check. $1,400 is coming to you. The incredible relief is that people got it. And that stimulus check is for veterans, for people on Direct Express, for people who pay taxes, people who don't pay taxes. Throughout the land, there's been a lot of confusion and a lot of strange narratives. Some of those strange narratives in the last few days have been Stimulus Plus. What is that? Stimulus Plus refers to When the IRS sends you a stimulus check of less than $1,400, sometimes you can qualify for the remainder of the $1,400. If that's not you, then you're not getting $1,700. It's to refer to people who didn't get the full stimulus check because of an accounting issue between their 2019 and 2020 tax return. We've also had people tell you that you were going to get a 20% increase of SSI and SSDI. It never was a 20% increase. It was up to 20% increase for some people. But along the way, we stay positive and we stay motivated and we focus on getting the big money, and the big money is yet to come. Here's where the rub is. It seems so peculiar. It seems so counterintuitive. But finally, after a year of pushing the purple power, the Democrats of the Senate want to give you the biggest payday ever under the fourth stimulus package, multiple stimulus checks. And they want to do that just as the economy is about to reopen. Yesterday, Gavin Newsom, governor of California, announced that California will be reopened fully in the month of June. Guess what? That's about when the bill lands in the Senate. Sound a little bit counterintuitive that suddenly when we reopen, there's going to be monthly stimulus checks? It depends on how you view the situation. But the narrative is very clear. Get the bill to the Senate as soon as possible. The faster you get the bill to the Senate while the economy is not fully rebounded, the better you are. Don't wait. Waiting too long may show a rebound in this economy. As we go into the new morning, I'm so excited for you. I appreciate all your comments. I appreciate all your support, and I appreciate all your love. But guess what? We got more work to do. Got to take this video and share it on social media. Hashtag MSC. Hashtag Purple Power. Tag your elected officials. Get them to push for those multiple stimulus checks in the Senate. The people you want to tag are Democratic senators. Tell them to get the bill done by reconciliation as soon as possible with those multiple stimulus checks. Very easy, breezy message. And away we go. I'll see you on Mornings LA. If you missed EIDL overnight, please watch it. Because guess what? That EIDL grant's about to go live. I want you to know how to do it. And FPUC Retro. It's about to possibly get into the fourth stimulus package. Stay informed, stay focused. Make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.